Okay, my name is Farid alfarizi, and I will present about the heritage of abundance, a history of abundance. Americans is 5% of world population. Americans use 25% of world energy, 7 pounds of garbage per person per day. This abundance has helped to shape the American character. This abundance is because America is so large, 3 million square miles, with fertile land, with abundant trees and animals. Rel- Relatively few Native Americans is 1 million. Americans become wealthy because of this and the fall of the early settlers. In Europe, people were either born wealthy or born poor and usually stayed that way. In America, status as birth was not important. Was not important. People could become rich or poor. People were more protective of their wealth and sought to acquire more. America developed quickly after independence. Trading and manufacture were important industries. Materialism began to develop into a moral value. This material world has attracted many people to settle in America, from producers to consumers. In 1700 and 1800, most Americans were producers. In the 20th century, they become mostly consumers. This change was caused by mass advertising. Advertisers could broadcast their message to millions of people. Television was a major influence in the development of the consumer society. Advertisers would place their advert within entertainment programs. In the US, most homes have a TV. Advert is to which are watched 8 hours per day. The average American sees 50,000 ads per year. From producers to consumers, mass advertising has become an institution. It has a large influence on people's everyday life. It has been used to change the way people think. Traditionally, it is used to sell things. The American economy now depends on consumerism. What American consumers like: comfort, cleanliness, novelty. The American desire for comfort comes from the harsh frontier days. This desire for cleanliness may come from the Puritan or Protestant heritage. The desire for novelty may come from their inventiveness. What American consumers like: Americans also like convenience: washing machine, clothes dryers, microwave oven, drive-in movies, drive-through ATMs. Convenience has also created fast food, served in less than 5 minutes. McDonald's, KFC, and Burger King. Homemade delivery, example pizza and Chinese food. Microwave dinners. Despite time-saving devices and Facebook, Americans are not less busy. Most married and children under 18 have some work outside of home. Children often have to eat fast food and become fat. too busy to enjoy the time they save. An abundance of technology has changed many aspects of American life. TV channels have increased. There are now more people watching cable or satellite than original network. There are now fewer people watching more programs. Mass advertising has adapted by specializing content. By 2000, 50% of households had a PC. Most people under 50 use the internet. Computers are becoming the center of entertainment in American homes. The internet is also used for news, information, and buying and selling. Challenge of the technological revolution. There are many new problems created by technology. Possible monopoly of media for political purposes as technologies merge. Children spend too much time on the computer and not enough time exercising. Quality of content and exposure of children to independent media. The digital divide, those who have access to computer and those who don't. The ever expanding pie. Throughout American history, the abundance of the United States has grown with it. Americans believe that their heritage of wealth will always exist. This has made Americans very optimistic and helped to form their national values. See previous or the decline of abundance. Recently, however, American has realized that there may be a limit to their abundant lifestyle. Energy crisis of 1970, stock market decline. The cost of the American dream has risen, but the rate of pay has declined. Service workers have very low pay. People have to work harder than their parents to have the same standard of living, 50, 60 hours per week. Housing has become very expensive. What of the future? The American heritage of abundance has greatly affected the lifestyle and values of the people. A decline in abundance is beneficial in some ways. Less waste, environmental protection, recycling. However, a prolonged decline in American abundance could have a profound effect on American identity and its associated values. Next, about the American family. Family structures. For American adults, immediate family is wife or husband plus kids. Other family, spared units is parents, siblings, and so forth. Extended family, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents. Traditional family unit, husband, wife, children in a house or apartment. Grandparents rarely live in same house. Aunts or uncles never do. Traditionally, father or breadwinner earns money. Mother, homemaker, or takes care of family, usually two children. Today, family is very different. Only 25% of American families are traditional. Most mothers work outside of the home, mostly married couples without children, single parent, unrelated people living together. 25% live alone. What happened? Baby boomers after World War II. People having kids at older age. People live longer. High divorce rate. The emphasis on individual freedom. A family group exists to make the individual members happier. Thus, the needs of the individual are most important, not concerned with advancement of the group in social or economic ways. America is non-aristocratic family name or honor are less important. Equality of opportunity, not an economic unit. Very few families run business that lasts for more than one generation. Americans don't like to be controlled by other family members, like to make independent decisions. Children are encouraged to decide on their own career. Marriage and divorce. Very few arranged marriage. People find their own spouse. Parents have little control over who their children marry. Believe that happiness in marriage is most important does not always happen. Happiness is based on companionship considered the most important thing. Divorce is easy. Most states have no-fault divorce. The divorce rate rose rapidly from 1960 to 1980, then level. 50% of marriage end in divorce, often involves children. Many do not want to sacrifice individual happiness for children. Now, there is no stigma attached to divorce. May be better for children. However, some studies suggest long-lasting effect on children. AG don't want children of their own. The role of the child, emphasis on the individual means that some children get more attention than they should. Children don't learn their social and familial responsibilities. However, working parents are often unable to spend time with their kids, so many spoil them in other ways. Equality in the family. Equality in the family destroys the father's status as the ruler and master, reduces the emotional distance. Some fear this decline in parental authority, especially among teenagers. Young people have a lot of freedom to learn self-reliance. Most children leave home in 18 years. Boomerang kids come back. First stage of marriage relationships. Step 1. Wife as servant to husband. 19th century wife completely obedient. Wife beating still legal until 1850. Wife had no power or possession. Step 2. Husband had wife helper. Late 19th century, early 20th century. Opportunities for women to work outside. Wife is able to support themselves. Wives gained more power in the home. Husband still had decision final. Step 3. Husband senior, wife junior. In 20th century, more women took jobs. By 2000, 60% had jobs. Wife income become important to the family. Husband's job provides most of the income. Step 4. Husband or wife equal partner. In 2000, most women believe they should be equal partners in their marriage. Husbands have equal responsibility in home. Power is shared equally. The role of the family in society. There is more individual freedom within American families. Needs of the individual are most important. However, American families might be less stable. Family is the best lifestyle. Most who divorce will marry again. Step families, complicated relationship, single parent, mostly mothers. Guy Chapel's broad definition of family. Family values. Traditional. Respecting one parent. Being responsible for one action. Having faith in God. Respecting authority. Remaining married to the same person for life. Leaving the world in better shape. Modern values. Giving emotional support to other members of the family. Respecting people for themselves. Developing greater skill in communicating one's feelings. Respecting one's children. Living up to one's potential as an individual. Okay, that's all, and thank you.